Hello and welcome to another fun nail art demo on MacLeod. Today we're going to be doing drag marbling, which is really fun and easy and quick because you have to work quick. So I've got a couple coats of streetwear slick on the nail, and I'm also going to be using Grand and Green, and I swatched these two recently so they might look familiar. I'm going to be using a dotting tool to do the drag marbling, and that's pretty much all we need, so let's get started. Now, it's a good idea because you have to work so fast, and especially if you're using more than two colors, you definitely want to make sure that all your caps are loose and ready to go, because if you're using traditional polish, it will start drying immediately. So you want to make sure that you're working thick and quick. I hope that doesn't sound dirty. So anyhow, I'm going to go in here with a relatively thick coat of slick. I feel like everything is rhyming today. So we're going in, and because you want to make sure it's still wet when you put the other color on. And if you're doing more than two colors, then you're just going to add stripes, thick stripes. Now the Grand and Green is a little sheer towards the end than I'd like, so I'm going to add more, and gotta hurry up because it is already drying. So go, 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 let's go. So I grab my dotting tool, and now I'm just going to go back and forth. Now you don't have to go back and forth, you could just go in one direction. It's entirely up to you as to how you want it to look. But you want to go as lightly as possible across the top in an effort to not make too many grooves or dips. Now if you do make grooves or dips, you can always go back in with, you know, before it dries completely, like maybe a little bit of top coat or something just to get rid of the three-dimensional effect. Unless you want the three-dimensional effect, but I didn't, so I'm going back in and adding a little slick here and there. I figured that the slick is nice and sheer, so it's also iridescent, so it'll add some interesting effects, and it winds up looking pretty cool. I liked it a lot. And my kitchen wasn't too warm, so I'm not quite sure why this dried so fast, but the Grand and Green is an express finish polish, so maybe that was part of it. Maybe I should have chosen something a little more normal drying. I don't know. But I do like these two colors together, so I was pretty happy with the way this turned out. Alright, so once we're happy with the way that looks, we're just going to let it dry for a while. Maybe examine our edges a little. All right, looks pretty good. All right, now that we're dry enough, we're going to be adding in a matte top coat, and I'm matting it just so it's a little easier for the camera to pick up. I know the glare can get pretty annoying sometimes, so just trying to minimize that a little bit. Now if you're not sure if the polish is really truly dry enough, definitely go lightly over the top with the top coat. Just kind of float it on there so you don't cause any unexpected bleeding or dragging. I mean, you can get some pretty cool effects from that too, but it might not be what you wanted. And we're also going to go in and add a stud just because why not? If you got it, flaunt it. Alright, so that's looking pretty nice, and now we're going to let that dry. And I'll show you the finished product when it's done. And there we go, we have a beautifully matted drag marble nail. So like I said, you can do this with a variety of colors, finishes, polishes. I wouldn't recommend doing like chunky glitters. Maybe that would work, I haven't tried it. But who knows, experiment, see what you can come up with. It's all about having fun and trying new things, and you know, it looks really good with high contrast colors, so That's something to keep in mind. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back soon with more. See you soon.